Well, it looks like the Grizzlies have finally got it back on track, or have they? They scored a 136-102 win versus the Houston Rockets to erase some of the stink of the New Orleans Pelicans loss. We're going to talk about it right now.
KeyAno.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demarest spiking, let's go, boy. He that MVP. Ooh, ripping that blue. All on the court, baby, look how I move.
Grizz gang, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for notifications, and like this video. And share this video with other Grizz fans. That's the best way you can do to help this channel grow and to support your brother Memphis X in growing this channel and getting some more Grizz fan perspective out there in the internet, on the internet, with the internet, however you want to say it. Peace. What is up, Grizz gang? This is Memphis X with iTalkHoops, and we're going to talk about the Grizzlies 136-102 victory over the Houston Rockets last night in FedEx Forum. And honestly, I can tell you, I don't even think they played a real NBA team last night. Now, they kind of erased all of the, like I said, all of the stink from that New Orleans Pelicans loss, but the Rockets just aren't even a competitive team at all. It was really no contest from the beginning. The Rockets refused to play any kind of defense, refused to play with any kind of physicality. And really, this was like a flip side or inverse of the last two games the Grizzlies played, except the Rockets were playing the part of the Grizzlies and the Grizzlies were playing the part of the Suns and Pelicans. The game was not close. The game was not competitive. And the Rockets didn't even look like they really wanted to be there. They were doing some very undisciplined things on the court. It seems like a really, really funky place to have a team that you're calling that you want to rebuild as far as for the future. And they have a lot of decent young prospects. And poor Steven Silas looks like he is in jail over there on the Rockets bench every time I see him. So hopefully, I don't know how they're going to turn it around, how they're going to get anything involved, but they really should have let John Wall play for them this year. I don't understand why he didn't. He's 31 years old, and they sat him for the whole year because he doesn't fit their timeline, and then they brought 34-year-old DJ Augustine off the bench to play backup point guard instead of Josh Christopher. So I don't get what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't think they care what they're doing. I just don't get it personally at all. I don't know what the world they're doing in Houston as far as a team building and being a cohesive unit, but that team could use a veteran point guard to start for them. Not sure why they're continuing on with the Kevin Porter Jr. at point guard experiment. It was cute for a while. It might have been cute last year, but at this point, it's painfully obvious that Kevin Porter Jr. is not a point guard. He's not a point guard of the future. He's not somebody who's going to be groomed into a point guard. And he shouldn't be playing point guard, especially on a young team that needs to be organized on the court. You know what I'm saying? They need to get organized on the court, and they're not organized offensively or defensively. And then on top of that, you got Usman Garuba playing 9 minutes. Alperi Sengun playing 18 minutes. Josh Christopher, he wouldn't even have played, but he played 10 minutes because it was a blowout. And they're playing guys like, they are playing Kevin Martin Jr., but they're playing Daniel House, David Nwaba. Just doesn't make sense, really. The whole thing doesn't make much sense to me. I don't know why they have Daniel Tice on the team. Hopefully, I guess maybe they'll get rid of him, but after December 15th when he can be traded. I don't know. Jayshawn Tate is probably a keeper, but I don't think he's a young guy. Jayshawn Tate is, he's 26 years old, so, I mean, it's not like he's a young guy unless they're going to plan on paying him later. seems like all these guys are set up to get them, more assets or whatever they're going to do. But I just don't get it because instead of playing Jayshawn Tate at small forward, you could be playing John Wall at point guard and Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. on the wings and Sengun and Christian Wood at the bigs, and you can be actually developing your players and, having them develop in a somewhat meaningful environment. But, that's their problem. We're not going to worry about that as Grizzlies fans. The Grizzlies played well. Ja Morant had a good game. Ja Morant's three-point shot was looking well versus the Rockets. The pull-up jumper, he was 4-6 from three-point line, 9 of 15 overall, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in just 25 minutes, plus 25, 22 points. Jaren Jackson, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from three-point line, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 18 points, plus 34. Continues leading the Grizzlies in that count. Dillon Brooks, 6 of 14, 1 of 4 from three-point line, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 16 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. He looks like he's pretty much back to his normal self. He doesn't look like the holdout hurt him much. Desmond Bane was 4 of 9, still just 1 of 5 from three-point line. DeAnthony Melton, only 17 minutes, 2 of 5, 1 of 4. And I'm going to tell you, people are going to be a little bit more relieved because they won. They won by a big margin, but the rotation problems are still there. And it doesn't seem like the coach has figured it out how easy it would be to fix this rotation. Even if you want to keep the starters the same with Steven Adams and you don't want to just start Jaren Jackson at center, which I think they should do. The first 2 substitutions could easily be DeAnthony Melton and Kyle Anderson coming in for Steven Adams and Dillon Brooks, and then letting Dillon Brooks carry the offense for the second team because Jaren can't do it because they can't give him the ball. And, at least Dillon can take the ball, and create his own offense and do that. So that's my 2 cents on what the rotation should be. And then you can have Tyus Jones playing for Ja Morant, maybe sneaking some minutes, with him if that's what they want to do. And Brandon Clark, I don't really like the role that they have him in right now. He was 5 of 5, 2 of 3. He had a pretty good game, but I just don't like the role. I don't think he's going to thrive in the role as a backup center. And that's basically what they have him at because they're playing him a lot next to Kyle Anderson with no Jaren and no Steven Adams on the court. So I just don't think that's going to be as successful against better teams. Good teams are going to exploit that. I think that's a better role for Xavier Tillman. I think he would thrive in that role, but, he's out of the rotation right now. So we're going to see. Their next game is on Thursday versus the LA Clippers. And I'm pretty sure the LA Clippers are going to want to get some revenge against them, especially I don't know when the LA Clippers are playing again before they play us. But I'm pretty sure they're going to want to get some revenge for us beating them in LA earlier this season. So Thursday, but I'm still not optimistic that this team is on the right track. It's mostly based on the rotations the coaches have decided to do. I think that they can do a lot better with the rotations, as I outlined earlier, and I think they can do a lot better with the playing time. I think they're playing Steven Adams too much, and they're tethering him to Ja Morant too much. I think that is causing them to have to run pick and rolls with Steven Adams and Ja Morant instead of pick and rolls with Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson. And quiet as kept, Jaren Jackson has been very productive in November offensively. And to me, he's been their best defensive player by far in November. And he is leading them in net rating also. So this thing about them playing Jaren Jackson so little minutes is very, very perplexing to me. It's just more evidence to me that this coach doesn't really know how to manage the roster he has. right now. He probably needs a little bit of help, more help managing, a little bit more. I don't know because, I'm not an NBA coach. I'm not a professional, but he has some on the bench that are next to him, and I don't know what's going on with that, but I would think that they would have aired this rotation thing out by now. They're still not playing their best combinations, and I think it's going to come back and hurt them in future games against teams that are good. So as long as we keep playing the Houston Rockets, we'll be fine, but I think we'll learn a little bit more versus the Clippers on Thursday. And by then, maybe, who knows, 2 days, so I'll probably start tomorrow with draft coverage. Gotta do it. Probably going to do a Grizzlies draft preview tomorrow. So I will see you then. This is Memphis X. Make sure you like this video, share this video with other Grizzly fans, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications. So if you do like draft coverage and, these game reviews aren't your thing, but you do like draft coverage, I will be doing some draft coverage. First, I'll do a draft preview, and all my draft coverage is Grizzly centered. It's going to be very, very little, of an overview of the draft for the NBA as a whole, but more Grizzly centered stuff. So the draft preview will not be a general draft preview. It'll be a Grizzlies draft preview. So I will see you then. Peace.